Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. This is going to be a short format video. I wanted to come on here and explain to y'all why I made the switch. As previously before, y'all may have noticed in some of my live streams or videos, I may have referred of me going from Apple to Samsung. My reasonings and would I stay with it, things like that. So first off, to start off, this is my iPhone 14 Pro Max. In the silver with 128 gigabytes. It's kind of basically just the base model. This is the Pro Max, so it has the bigger screen and everything. I had this with AT&T. I preferred the iPhones for a long time just based off iOS and everything. It was, to me, more easier to use. Yes, they didn't have as much customization to it, but it wasn't really anything that I really cared about too much back then. And I've kind of just stuck with it. I've been just so used to it. Well, part of what I do is IT. So I'm always a tech guy. I always like to see kind of what's out there, what's new, things like that. So for the longest time I was on iPhone. And after the latest release of the newest iPhones, I was not happy. I mean, come on, burnt orange. And rumor has it is oxidization on the aluminum is now turning them pink. I don't know how true that is, so I can't say that for certain. But also the aluminum. I get that it was for cooling purposes and things like that, but this has the exact same cooling mechanism in it, and it's titanium and glass. But with the latest releases of them, I was just not a huge fan of them. The design wasn't bad, it's just the colors and the aluminum, the durability just, I don't think was going to hold up. And as some of my thoughts and stuff like that were true. There's a bunch of dings and things like that all over them already. A lot more than a titanium or a stronger stainless steel type of construction. But after that, I was kind of tired of it. And I was looking at possibly getting a new phone because this was already paid off of. And you know, that being the 17, I was like looking for kind of more of the AI features that they were now providing with the 15 and being USB-C and everything else. I wanted to switch to USB-C. I hated Apple being Lightning for so long. I'm glad that they finally went to a USB-C. That's kind of where I was thinking, but with the latest version, I just couldn't. So I decided to actually switch my mobile plan over to Verizon. Not sponsored or anything like that. It's just better in my current local area that I live in and kind of do my daily commutes and everything. So I went to Verizon and I decided to change it up a little bit. I decided I wanted to traverse and go to the light side, the dark side, whichever side. I think most people call the Android the light side, the iPhone the dark side. To be honest with you, I don't care. It was a phone that I really liked on both ends. So I switched to the Samsung S25 Ultra mainly for this. Well, it turns out that they removed the feature, the Bluetooth feature from the pins. Now, would I really cared? I don't really care. I don't use it to take pictures. If I'm going to take a picture, I use the phone itself or my watch. I have the Samsung S7 or the Watch 7. My apologies. The Watch 7, just to take a picture. I don't really care for the pen as far as the Bluetooth functionality of it. Now, I do like it for me to be able to jot down notes, things like that, mark things out. I do love that, and I have used that actually a lot more than I was going to use it because that was the whole point I went with the pen. But I've used it a lot, actually. Now, it did take me a little bit to get used to it. A lot of the stuff didn't come over as far as transferring. There's millions of applications and things like that that you can use to transverse and stuff like that. Once I kind of got everything where I wanted it, is it a bad phone? Absolutely not. I think this is a fantastic phone. There's a bunch of features that I would take out of this phone and plug into this phone and vice versa. Will I stay Samsung? Probably not. And the reason why I state that is the big reason that I am not liking Samsung right this minute. And it's not that I don't like it. It's just they don't have a feature that Apple does that to me is kind of the deciding factor, and that is the Face ID. I wish Samsung had a Face ID feature with their newer flagship phones. I think at one point in time it does have a Face ID. Let me correct that. It does have a Face ID, but it's not as secure as Apple's. Apple's, you could use it for unlocking your phone, payments, you know, bank things, all these different things. This has it to unlock the phone, but it's hit or miss. It doesn't have the 3D functionalities and scans that the iPhone does. So I eventually plan on switching because of that feature alone. Everything else is fine. You know, I found alternatives and things like that. I think the only other thing that I truly like more on the Apple side is the quality between a phone call that is either between other Apple, that's from Samsung to Apple, or even to Android. I've had kind of weird qualities with it. I don't know if it's speakers. I don't know what that is. I didn't really have that much issues with the Apple version of it. And to be honest with you, I could care less for the SMS or the iMessage thing. To me, does it really matter to me? No, as long as the text message sends out and it gets my point across, as long as it's within a timely fashion. And usually half my family is Android. I have no issue with texting with them through the iPhone. But I wanted to come on and kind of talk to you why I switched and if I'm going to be staying. Like I said, if Samsung had the secure version like Apple does with their Face ID, that would be pretty much Samsung all the way. I've actually switched to Spotify. I used to not say hate, but I was like, I'm already on Apple Music, why do I switch? And there's a reason why I switched. One, Apple Music was weird on here, so of course I decided what's the point. Spotify to me fits the way that I like to listen to music and has better features to me of discovering new music. And Spotify works on everything, not just Apple and not just Samsung and not just Windows. So that's kind of that. Now, I will state, there's a few things still that I like on Samsung side and things that I like on Apple side. The watch. I think Samsung has a killer watch. Now, I've heard some things about some glitches and things like that with notifications and stuff like that I recently experienced, but it wasn't for a very long time, I will say that. And I think it was more of just a software glitch than a bug than just a breaking of a device. So I will state that regarding all that, the watch, I prefer the Samsung watch. 10 out of 10, to be honest with you. Was the Apple bad? No, the design functions I think are not that good compared to Samsung's. Their UI, just basically the design of it, the way it functions is a lot better. Now, their earbuds. I have the Galaxy Buds, which I thought I had with me, but they are, I guess, on my nightstand right this second. Those, I probably wouldn't choose those over Apple's AirPods Pros. I prefer the Pros, of the AirPod Pros over the Galaxy Pros, just based off of form-fitting. And now I will say the lights on the Samsungs are a really neat feature, and I do like that, but the quality isn't, I don't think, as good. The fitment of the ear in the ears aren't that good. As far as Samsung's versions, I don't think I really like them from the testing of between the Pros. I have the original Pros, AirPod Pros, and I have the Pro Buds 3, and I still choose the Pros over I still choose Apple over Samsung on the earbuds, just because of the Face ID. Now, I heard rumors, everybody's kind of talking about that Apple's going to be coming out with their Fold. Will I get the Fold? I don't know. It determines when it comes out if I like it or not. If I plan on switching from the S25 Ultra to the 18 Pro Max is probably the phone that I would realistically get. Would also determine on features and pricing and all that other stuff. There's a reason why I may be switching back to Apple other than just the Face ID. And it's off screen over here, but that'll be in another video here shortly. But yeah, other than that, I hope y'all enjoyed, and other than that, I'll see you on the next. Peace.